why Sheikh Hamdan's mother left him, or why that did not happen. This is what we'll be discussing in this video. Now, we all know Rashid Al Maktoum. We know that despite having access to endless luxury and leading a grand lifestyle, every single wife of Sheikh Rashid Al Maktoum, they have left him except Hind Al Maktoum. Now, why is that? How is that even possible? Well, that's what we want to discuss more in details, guys, more in details. So, the ruler of Dubai fled. I mean, all of them. The wives of ruler of Dubai, they fled except Hind Al Maktoum. And this is a story of true love. What do you think? Is this a story of true love, or is this a story of severe perseverance? Like she wanted to stay here, she didn't want to leave him. What do you think about this story? Let me know. This story of the one who stayed Prince Hamdan's mother, and we will start from the very beginning. So Hind Al Maktoum. She was born on the 12th of February 1962 to the royal house of Al Maktoum. This royal house, they are very, very rich. If you do not know about them, they are absolutely ridiculous rich people, this whole family. And so they love doing what they're doing, which is, living their life and, just going about their day. So her father was the son of Sheikh Juma bin Al Maktoum, who was the brother of her husband's grandfather. Her mother was also from the Maktoum house. She was the daughter of her husband's grandfather. So as you can see, this lady, Randa, I will talk about her in a second, but she was the daughter of her husband's grandfather, Amir Dubai. So she was royalty through and through. Growing up, she was raised with strict Islamic principles, meaning she was schooled indoors. The one you're seeing on the picture on the video is not actually Hamdan's mother. She is the nanny. But let's talk more about this nanny and all that. Who she is, she was one of Rashid Al Maktoum's wives. Some people say, no, she was not actually a wife. She was a mistress and all that. But this wife, Hind Al Maktoum, she is a royal herself. She is a royal herself, and so when she got married into the royal family, she knew everything how to follow. So for example, Islamic laws and all that. She was aware of all of it. So she did not have any problem. She lived pretty much an indoor life, and she was happy for that. So she left the palace. If Hind longed for more, we can't really tell, because she took to the training and did as she was told. So basically what this is suggestive is that she was trained well by her family, by her parents, to live a royal life in privacy and all that. When she turned 17, her good nature paid off. Sheikh Mohammed had just recently been promoted to play a higher role in the ruling of Dubai and his family. Indeed. His family needed him to be more grounded in his ways and settled down. It also did not help that he had gotten the child out of wedlock with the Lebanese wife woman, as I said, Randa. So Randa is from Lebanon. They needed him to get married to someone who respected, preferably royalty. And that was when Hind came into the picture. Guys, as I said, Hind Al Maktoum was a very, very important part of his life. She brought in all kind of discipline, if you like, in his life. She brought in Islamic values, principles, that Hamdan's father, Rashid Al Maktoum, would not have been able to achieve by marrying or having a mistress like Randa Al Banna. So she actually did a very good job in keeping Rashid Al Maktoum out of trouble. Now, Hind had always known Sheikh Mohammed since the beginning of the 20th century. She was his maternal cousin and paternal second cousin. Although it was not unusual for cousins to get married in the Arabian culture, the significant age gap between them might have made, we talk about, marrying your relative, your cousin, and we sometimes frown on it. But the matter of the fact is that guys in the Arab culture, this is something very, very common. Even with the age gap thing, that is something also very, very common. I mean, nobody really cares how old are you, as long as you are able to communicate like a matured woman, like a matured man, and all those kind of things, you are good to go. So this is exactly what is happening right now with the family, because again, they have no problem, no qualm about that. Now, Randa Al Banna, even though she was not equal in age with Rashid Al Maktoum, between them might have been made it harder for her to imagine that she would be the chosen one. So when she was informed of Sheikh's intentions and agreed preparations began for the celebration of a lifetime, wedding was grander than you could ever imagine. And it was the first major public event for Dubai. The United Arab Emirates had recently gained independence from a British, and was in control of the revenue being generated. The money that you see on the screen. be generated from their oil wealth. So Dubai had more than enough money to splurge on the celebration. In other words, because Dubai had so much money, they didn't have any problem to spend all of this, or a lot of this money, I should say, for the wedding of Sheikh Rashid Al Maktoum. So this ordeal lasted for about 5 days, so the wedding was for 5 days in total, Rashid Al Maktoum and Hind Al Maktoum. 20,000 city stadiums were built, and seat was also big enough to fit dignitaries, while the less reputable people were hosted in open spaces that had been decorated on the streets of Dubai. In other words, guys, this lady, Sheikh Hind Al Maktoum, the mother of Sheikh Hamdan Fazza's mother, is someone who deserves to be praised because of how loyal she had been to Rashid Al Maktoum. I mean, even though we know some of his wives fled, Princess Hamdan Hussein, for example, but she is stuck, she loves where she is, and she wants to keep it that way, not trying to change anything, not trying to rock the boat for anybody. So yeah, this is such a great achievement for Hamdan Al Maktoum. I'll be talking more about it in part 2. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. Leave a comment if you have any, and I will see you in the next video. And you have a wonderful day yourself. Take care. Her relationship with Sheikh Hamdan Fazza is not working, even though she said me and Fazza, Sheikh Hamdan. She said, me and Fazza, we have been in contact. We are in a relationship for so many months and years. But nevertheless, right now, she is at a point where she doesn't know why it all started. By the way, this is something that was sent to me with evidence, with proofs. She not only said it, she not only emailed me, but she also sent me proofs showing me, telling me that this is real. As I said in my past videos, we do not know if you are talking to the real Fazza, Sheikh Hamdan, or not. We do not know. This is something I will never claim. He can't come out and talk to you. This person, this lady, she wrote to me and she said, I'm talking to the real Fazza. We are in a relationship. We know each other for so long. We did this, we did that. But now she doesn't even know why that even started. Why? Why did Sheikh Hamdan Fazza do what he did? Before I mention this whole story and show you the proof, I want to tell you this. If you are someone who has a story, if you have been in contact with Sheikh Hamdan Fazza, whoever it is, email me, let me know so that I can share your story. I do not reveal your personal details, but if you ask me to do so, I will do it. But write to me, email me, let me know your story so that we can share it, because when we do that, a lot of people benefit. This story is very, very interesting. As I said, the lady here presented proofs. You cannot ignore these facts. You cannot brush them off over and over again. So what is the story? What is it that I want to share with you? But before I do that, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel because we talk about Sheikh Hamdan Fazza on this channel. In fact, most of the time we talk only about him, his lifestyle, what he is up to and whatnot. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. The story goes something like this. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. She said, and she wrote my name at the beginning of this email. She said, listen, I have been dealing with this for a long time. She starts off the email by mentioning she has been dealing with this for a long time. I have never asked Prince Hamdan for a thing. She never asked for a present, any gift. He never asked me for anything. And Sheikh Hamdan Fazza did not ask her, for example, to buy a royal card or a royal membership. That did not happen. She did not ask for anything. Sheikh Hamdan Fazza did not ask anything from her either. So what was the problem? The problem is, she said, I haven't gotten back. They did not get back to me, meaning Sheikh Hamdan Fazza and his family, on what the next move is. Are they going to propose to me? Are they going to take it to a new level, the next level? Which might mean getting married, which might mean at least coming close to the royal Dubai royal family, finding out who they are, bringing this lady, this woman, this lover, closer to the relationship, to the family. She said, I do not know what will be the next move because I had opened a business account. Now this is where things get very interesting. She was asked by Sheikh Hamdan Fazza and his team to open a business account. And this is what makes her really upset. And this is what she said exactly. These are her words. She said, why would Sheikh Hamdan Fazza ask me to open a business account? And then all of a sudden, Sheikh Hamdan Fazza did not talk to her. She said, quote, as I said, there were 2 other men involved. I believe we'll call him Rob, who's in Hawaii, and his boss, this lying Tony Stark, don't know where. But this thing started to get weird. Tony Stark and another man, they contacted her. There are two men, one from Hawaii and the other one Tony Stark. Both seem to be from the States, both from Hawaii. Am I saying right? Hawaii. So the people working for Sheikh Hamdan Fazza, who are working for Sheikh Hamdan Fazza, according to her, they are getting in contact with her because they want this person to open a bank account now. Doesn't mean they will ask her for money. That did not happen. It's very, very important for us to understand here. She said the reason she is confused is that why Sheikh Hamdan Fazza, his team, would ask me to open a business account and then I do not know what is next. This is what she said. She said, I was asked to keep all conversations via email or phone documented, which I did. I have a folder 5 inches thick, if not more. Actually, I have 3 folders that I printed off the conversations. In other words, she has proof that she did talk to Sheikh Hamdan Fazza. I'll show you this picture as proof that she sent me, where she said basically that this is the conversation, this is how money was transferred and whatnot. This was sent to her, as you can see. Prince Hamdan replied. This is not her real name, though. This is a pseudonym. She said the email basically, thanks to Allah for having you here again. I lost you on Hangout chat. Hope you received the money from the Everbank of America. I want to mention a very important thing here. Okay, when this person is saying that he sent him money through Everbank in America, I want to tell you this. Hangout is not something Sheikh Hamdan Fazza uses. Number 1 point, if you are talking to Sheikh Hamdan Fazza on Hangout, most likely you will not talk to the right one again. I will not say anything. It is up to you. It can be Sheikh Hamdan Fazza real. But normally, people will come and tell you Sheikh Hamdan Fazza is not on Hangout. Number 2, Everbank. Money sending through that bank. It happens all the time. People like yourself, if you're listening, they get an email from Sheikh Hamdan Fazza and they claim that they have sent money. Sheikh Hamdan Fazza sent money to Everbank of America. This happens all the time, so you need to be careful about that. Now things get very, very interesting when this whole team of Sheikh Hamdan Fazza got involved in this, and they are looking very serious about this business deal. Because she opened a business account, she has a collection of all the texts and emails, she put them in a folder as evidence, and she documented everything. This is exactly what we all should do. Every time you talk to someone, document it. And she said, quote, well, I noticed the other day that one of the dudes claimed his name. Check this out. Tony Stark. Tony Stark. Well, as if I was that slow, which I was, the name is associated with the superhero movie. Now, the problems that Sheikh Hamdan Fazza and his team have with this particular lady are because they are accusing her of being very, very slow in dealing with them. They are saying you are not fast enough. You are not taking a step. You are not making it happen, because they wanted to have a relationship with Sheikh Hamdan Fazza and this lady. At the same time, they wanted Sheikh Hamdan Fazza to have a business relationship. So business relationship and personal relationship, that's what they were aiming for. But none of them are panning out the way they thought it would. And she is getting upset because now they're saying you are slow. This whole fiasco is happening because you are slow. You need to pick up the pace. Then she said something very, very interesting, that the name Tony Stark is a name from superhero movies. I don't watch movies. I do not know. She checked the name. And this is what you should do. Then she said, now very interesting. She said, this name is the man's name that was the businessman in Hawaii. Well, he also has a loan company. And knew a lot about law, as I am not that slow. But hey, once again, it brings me back to becoming upset. She said, I'm not going to use the exact word. They paid for a business license, not a DBA LLC, so it looks like she received payment. This is very, very interesting because normally you do not see Sheikh Hamdan Fazza paying someone. It is the other way around. It is the lover, people who want to be in a relationship. They are getting paid. It is not Sheikh Hamdan who pays them. It is the people that are getting paid. So this is very interesting because it looks like she said that they paid for a business license. Why would they pay for a business license if they are not genuine, if they are not sincere? Then she said, quote, for me, and it's registered in Minnesota, this whole thing has me so messed up in the head that it's not making any sense. They did not steal anything from me. They did some very upsetting things, I'm not going to use the word, but nothing to where I have to worry about my credit or anything else. So, okay, this is a very important thing, and this thing is something you all want to remember. Every time you deal with anyone, Sheikh Hamdan Fazla, online, you must make sure that your credit is not affected, and at the same time, you must make sure you do not take money from them. This lady, looks like she did not take any money from Sheikh Hamdan Fazla, and Sheikh Hamdan Fazla, on the other hand, did not receive any money from her, nor did he ask her to pay anything. When you are in contact with Sheikh Hamdan Fazla, normally money will come. Every time you contact Sheikh Hamdan, there will be a conversation about money. Buying your oil membership card or paying for his trip so that he can come to you, or paying him for the helicopter that he will send you to bring you to the palace. Things like that. So there is always this element where you see money is involved. Always. In this case, it is exactly the same. Money is involved. In fact, money is the main reason why this whole thing started. And then, obviously, you also have the relationship side of it, of the conversation. What we understand from these kinds of messages is very, very simple. You are in a relationship with Sheikh Hamdan Fazla. If you can prove it, I'm not saying again, I will not claim anything. If you can prove it, and you have evidence, you have proof, that's good for you. You can go ahead and have a relationship with Sheikh Hamdan Fazla. Looking at the story of Sheikh Hamdan Fazla, what he is doing right now, we can say with conviction that Sheikh Hamdan Fazla is not looking for a marriage at the moment. Would he have a relationship outside the marriage? Unlikely, but can happen. Does he have a concubine or any other woman in his life? Possible, we do not know. This is not something we claim when we talk about his relationship in this channel. Look, he is having an affair. In fact, I mentioned it yesterday in my video that a lot of people are claiming he has a relationship with Hollywood celebrities. And I said, no, that is not true. Emma Watson, Paris Hilton, you name it, Lindsay Lohan. These are all made-up stories. Nevertheless, we will never say that he does not want to marry any other woman or he thought that he is not interested. In fact, it can be quite the opposite, but again, we do not know. It might happen. So, if you are talking to Sheikh Hamdan Fazla, going back to the story of this person, we see a lot of things good about this interaction, but there are a lot of things not panning out the way it should. Good things are that she's opening a business account. She is someone who is finding now a new way of looking at herself, especially when it comes to opening a business. She might be inspired now, she might be motivated now. Maybe she never thought about opening a business in the past. Now that somebody is contacting her, she has a business account, there is a possibility. We do not know that she might go into some kind of business. The bad thing is that this conversation that she is having with these people in Hawaii from the States is not going anywhere. Again, if you have a story you want to share with me, feel free to write to my email address royals101@yahoo.com. I believe that's the address. I have a few comments here. Annalene Francisco, good evening. Thank you, Annalene. I do not know where you're from, Annalene. If you can let me know, that'll be great. You are from UK, Philippines, US, Canada. Kelly, well, if she's speaking with him and he asked for that, it's very strange. I would worry about that. They could put her in debt. Possible. If you are, the good thing about this, Kelly, is that she's not involved in any kind of transaction. Yes, she has a business account, but she's not sending money to him, nor is she asking them to send her money, for which she could be in debt. But that's a good point. Heike, hello from Germany, that's true. Heike, thank you again for joining in. I'm 18 years old, away. I do not know why you are talking about that. Sheikh Hamdan is waiting for the most beautiful. Okay, Kelly, I have a serious question. Why does not he put stuff to all of these people saying they are him and using people? He would probably, the first reason is he probably doesn't even know. He doesn't have time for YouTube. He doesn't have time like you and me have coming and talking about it. And at the same time, maybe nobody told him yet. So when we make this video and we talk to you guys about these things, hopefully one day he will see these videos and see like, oh, these guys talking about this thing, so I need to do something about it. The other thing also, he is just, maybe he's aware, but he doesn't bother because there are maybe thousands of them. So how many he can deal with if he puts out one video? Then he cannot just say, oh, just one video, and I'm done, because people might even get more confused. If he talks about this once, he has to come on this, in this kind of video, or if he's making any kind of videos addressing this issue, he has to do it over and over again. But I don't think he'll be interested, or he has the time.